as always. There we go. Okay. Wait, what? But I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into diamonds. What is that a quote from? I feel like I should know what that quote is from, but I don't. That's a note to start on. That is the note to start. Yeah, no, actually, I feel like I should know what that quote there is from, but I don't. Not even 2 minutes, well, 2 minutes, oh wait. It's from a Marvel comic. I should have figured. But given what the topic of this episode is, it does not sound that out of place in what we are talking about, which I will get to momentarily. Welcome to Wonder After Dark. No idea if Sylv is showing up yet or not. He said he might earlier, but no promises. I'm fine either way. If he does, if he doesn't. Anyway, I'm not going to push it. But anyway, before we get into the topic of this episode, I just want to take a brief minute to acknowledge a lovely little show. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's not what we're talking about tonight, especially given the subject matter of a lot of the episodes, but it turned 19 years old. I did not grow up with this show, but that makes me feel old. Which, can I just say before I carry on, it is a miracle and a mystery how this show made it past episode 1. I don't mean season 1, I mean episode 1. How so? Well, gee, imagine opening your television show with the first episode literally titled The Gang Gets Racist. My idea earlier, we should watch Howard the Duck. That's a lovely idea. Yeah, I'm not being sarcastic. I just think that's a lovely idea. Although I'm a little confused, perhaps, where that idea came from. I don't know what I said earlier. I don't mean that to sound sarcastic. I'm just a little perplexed. Was it me saying an hour and 30 minutes or what? I actually don't know. Anyway, but that's a nice idea. I would love that. Anyway. Although it definitely cannot be on stream, because copyright shit, but anyway. Read. Okay. Is there something else I'm missing? Because I did just read that. If you mean read this, my idea... Yeah, I just said I already did read it. Good God, my internet. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess now that I know your internet is on the fritz again, if you need me to repeat anything, let me know. will gladly do so. Maybe not 10 times, but I'll at least do it 3 times. Considering 90% of this show is already me stumbling and fumbling anyway. Anyway, this was another one of those episodes of Wonder After Dark where I was a little indecisive about the topic. Oh wait, what does this say? When Deadpool 3 comes out digitally, I need the scene where Blade, Elektra, and Gambit come out of the hallway and into the big room to become a meme. If you're on TikTok, then Gambit saying, "Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself here," has already become a meme. And it's not even out digitally. In fact, a lot of the spoiler-heavy scenes have already become memes. My entire For You page, just about, is shirtless Wolverine. Oh god, I'm thirsty for men. Anyway, let's get back on track. Okay. This was another one of those episodes where I was a little indecisive about the topic of the night. Sometimes I decide the topic well in advance. I can imagine the memes, Michael Keaton Batman walking in with the music. Yes. Anyway, Nick Cage super. Anyway. Also, my apologies. If it seems like I'm ignoring you, I am not. Anyway. Let's get back on track. This was another one of those streams, another one of those episodes, what I consider these episodes of a show. But anyway, this was another one of those where I was feeling a little indecisive about the topic. I was kind of thinking, you know, maybe I'll cover some Wes Anderson movies, because I've been on kind of a Wes Anderson kick. I was also thinking maybe I'll cover something just totally random. I was also thinking maybe I'll just make this like a random thoughts kind of episode. But then the other day I watched 2 things on Disney Plus, and yeah, I'm covering that. The Doctor Who specials. Now, Doctor Who is something I've actually never covered on this show, I don't think, anyway. Oh, Doctor Who. Yeah, what did you think the title? What did you think this episode was named after? Anyway. But yeah. So I settled on that. Specifically, I'm covering... I've watched the early... You mean the early episodes that haven't been lost to time? Because I don't know if you knew this, but a lot of early Doctor Who is lost forever. Because BBC... Well, anyway, a lot of these episodes are... A lot of the earliest Doctor Who episodes are lost forever, because BBC had a notorious track record of taping over programs to save space. Cost efficient, but not a good idea. But anyway, so I guess I'd hate to sound like that. Well, actually, especially because I haven't seen every episode of Doctor Who, Professor Y, but I guess the correct wording there would be whatever early episodes are still out there, readily available. Anyway, Doctor Who, I am not going to give the whole history of Doctor Who. We would be here all night if I did, so I'll keep this brief. Doctor Who began airing on BBC in 1963 and has been running ever since, somehow. I'm aware that sounds negative. It isn't. I just question how the show has lasted this long and has never been, like, permanently canceled or gone through fatigue or anything like that. Anyway, around, I want to say, I'm really bad at doing my research. case you wanted to see me yawn, there you go. Okay, around 2023, it was announced that Disney Plus had picked up the U.S., not just streaming rights, but U.S. broadcast rights to new episodes of Doctor Who. Specifically, new episodes. BBC, Big Black Crocodile. Shawn Mendes, anyway. Shawn Mendes, Crocky dancing with Javier Bardem for an hour. Anyway. I gotta be the only knick-knock on Earth who remembers Lyle Crocodile. Anyway. But it was announced that Disney Plus had picked up the broadcast and streaming rights for new episodes of Doctor Who. I specify new episodes because currently all of the legacy stuff is still on HBO Max, or whatever they're calling it this week. Yeah. But new episodes. This would begin with 3 specials. The Star Beast, which released on November 25th, 2023. Wild Blue Yonder, which released on December 2nd. And The Giggle, which released on December 9th. Now, I watched The Star Beast and Wild Blue Yonder when they came out in November and December, respectively. But I kind of held off on The Giggle for the longest time. And I have no idea why, but I just did. I just held off for fuck all ever. Fuck all ever being until a few days ago. Half a year later. Go ahead, laugh at me. Anyway. Now, this was interesting. When I first heard that Disney Plus had picked up the rights to air new Doctor Who, I was initially thinking, okay, so this is going to be like Bluey. Now, you probably just heard me say Bluey and are probably thinking to yourselves, oh God, Jess has lost it. No, here's what I mean. Bluey is similarly an Australian show that then got localized for the U.S. market. Now, in the U.S., Bluey airs on Disney Junior and streams on Disney Plus. Now, Disney may edit or, yes, censor episodes of Bluey accordingly for American audiences, but they're very hands-off. They don't have much of a production say. They don't own the property. It's very much still in the hands of whoever in Australia owns it. That's what I thought was the case with Doctor Who. I thought, okay, so Disney's going to be streaming the show, and they might change around some of the terminology for American viewers, but for the most part, they're going to be pretty hands-off. Hate to interrupt, but favorite Marvel character. No worries. God, that's really tricky. I'm not saying I love all of them, but there are things about each Marvel character that I really like. Even some of the, less beloved ones. Granted, most of my Marvel knowledge comes from the movies and the shows, not the comics, but... So if I get a fact blissfully wrong, you know who to blame. But, if we're talking the X-Men, listen, I know this is kind of a Moon Knight is up there for me. I don't hear a lot of people say Moon Knight is their favorite. I mean, I've heard people say that, but not as often as, the big knee. I was really about to say the big knees, but I've not heard people say Moon Knight nearly as often as, the big leagues. Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, Hulk. If we want to narrow it down to favorite X-Man, or X-person, that's fucking obvious. That's real fucking obvious. Um, favorite Avenger? That's really tricky. Iron Man is arguably number one. Oh, Iron Man, I don't know if I'd say Iron Man's number one for me, but definitely close to it. But yeah, no worries. You did not interrupt at all. It was off topic, but the good kind of off topic. Plus, I mean, Marvel, Disney, we're talking about Disney Plus, so it kind of ties in very loosely. Plus, the unit tower in these specials just looks like Avengers Tower without the branding. Anyway. Okay, but when I first heard that Disney Plus had picked up the rights to air new Doctor Who, I was thinking it was going to be a Bluey situation, where, like, they would air the show and they might edit a few things here and there, but they would be very hands-off. No. Now, when I say that, Disney did not buy Doctor Who from BBC. The show is still owned by BBC. The Doctor Who comics are in Earth 6-1... Wait, what? Okay, I don't read the Doctor Who comics, so... Yep, here I am. Anyway. Autism at its finest. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, the Marvel doc. On the topic of, no, I'll get back on topic, but on the topic of batshit insane publications by Marvel Comics. I'm not going to read this entire page because we're supposed to be talking about Doctor Who, but on the topic of batshit insane publications from Marvel Comics that should not be real but are. Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends Volume 1. Cover date, October 1987. My Wi-Fi's being... Okay, there we go. There have been several Thomas and Friends magazines published around the world from 1987 onwards. Originally, they were published by Marvel Comics, who were more widely known for their superhero characters. However, in 1989, by issue 305, Marvel quietly discontinued them and Egmont took over publishing. If you didn't know that, now you do. Which means, yes, you could say that the Thomas characters could be somewhere out there in the Marvel multiverse. This went south. Anyway, let's get back on topic, quiddy please. Anyway, now, where I was. Disney did not buy... Godzilla comics were also canon to Earth 616. I wish that Marvel's Thomas comics were in Earth 616, but sadly they do not go as far as to say what Earth. Which that is so bad. I hate that. I wish they went that damn far to say what Earth we are on. Anyway, now, where I was, one of these days I'm going to do that, I'm just going to throw up everywhere. So in turn, Godzilla and Thomas exist. Yeah. Although, again, we don't know what Earth Marvel's Thomas comics are in. We don't know if it's 616. We don't know. Alongside the freaking TARDIS. Can we please get this crossover? God. We already have IDW Sonic potentially crossing over with something big. Can we please make it even more batshit insane? Anyway. Now, Disney did not buy the rights to Doctor Who. It's complicated. I don't really know how to explain it, but the show is still owned by BBC. So internationally, UK, etc., now that I did know, Marvel did do Star Wars comics as well. That I did know. Anyway. Now, again, BBC does still own Doctor Who outright. So internationally, these did not air on Disney Plus and instead aired on BBC, as they always would. But in the US, not only do they stream on Disney Plus instead of BBC America, but Disney also has some role in the production. How do I know this? First of all, the visual effects have gotten a significant upgrade, starting with the first special, The Star Beast. Still TV quality, but much better TV quality. The second obvious sign is, although they don't put the Disney logo like on the show itself, so it's not Disney's Doctor Who, it's BBC Doctor Who. If you stick around till the end of the credits, it says like, a such and such production for Disney and BBC. And then the Disney logo plays after. So Disney clearly has some say in the production of Doctor Who now. That, and it just feels very, like when I say feels Disney, I don't mean woke agenda this, I don't mean queer faggoty that, I don't mean, yes, I just said that. I don't mean, gay this, gay, I don't mean musket, like, it just feels like a Disney production, is what I'm saying. But anyway, I'm just going to briefly cover these specials, because why not? Starting with The Star Beast. So, canonically, where does it fit in? God damn, don't ask me. I am not up to date on Doctor Who. I'm looking at Wikipedia. Preceded by the Power of the Doctor episode and Destination Skaro mini episode. Yeah, don't ask me. The episode focuses on the newly regenerated Doctor being drawn back to life by being drawn back to the life of former companion Donna Noble, whose memory he was forced to erase to save her life in Journey's End. Worth noting, Journey's End originally aired in 2008. So you had to have seen an episode that aired 15 years ago to understand what's fucking happening here. You wonder why Doctor Who is not, like, up there with all the other things I like. Anyway. It is One Piece for British people. Upon his arrival in present-day London, or I guess now 2023 London, he is caught up in a fight to the death when a spaceship crash lands, with an alien army of Rarth warriors pursuing a small furry creature known as the Meep. Pretty simple premise, really. I mean, that's about typical for Doctor Who. Anyway, it received generally positive reviews, who praised Tennant and Tate's reintroduction to the series, along with... Okay, well, I just said it's not woke agenda this and woke agenda that. I did completely forget about this until right the damn now, with the introduction of Rose, a transgender character. Like I said, I completely forgot about that until right now. Whoops. Anyway. Whilst the resolution, I can't read to save my life. while the resolution to the meta-crisis storyline and transgender themes received mixed responses. Go figure. No, I am not saying go figure to transgender. I'm saying go figure to it receiving mixed responses. This is Disney, after all. So, Star Beast. What do I think of it? Was it a good special? Yeah, oh wait, what does it say? Disney, why you gotta pander? Go back to making... Season 14 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia featured an episode called D-Day, where the gang pulled blackface. That episode was then subsequently removed from streaming and is also not included on the Season 14 DVD. This was after Disney had acquired 20th Century and FX, who produce and air Always Sunny. Anyway. But of course it was followed up... Oh yeah, but Star Beast. I thought it was a pretty good special. Although I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more had I been caught up on the last 15 damn years of Doctor Who, thus being able to understand what the fuck is even happening. Copper, what you see? Anyway. But this was then followed up with another special. Nope. This little bastard has decided he wants to get under the bed for no reason, and that shouldn't piss me off, but it does, so he'll be sitting here for the time being. Anyway, it was then followed up with another special titled Wild Blue Yonder. That sounds like a film you would find in your art teacher's drawer in her desk. Anyway, Wild Blue Yonder is the second of the 60th anniversary specials. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, all of these specials were released to coincide with the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. You know, the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, where a majority of the early episodes are lost to time. It's funny how that works. Anyway, set directly after the events of the Star Beast, the episode focuses on the Doctor and Donna being stranded by the TARDIS on an abandoned spaceship at the edge of the universe, where they encounter a pair of bizarre, sadistic, shape-shifting evil duplicates of themselves. Wait, what does this say? Wild Blue Yonder is the copyright-free name for a Sonic-inspired XXX film. Yep. Anyway, also, bizarre, sadistic, shape-shifting evil duplicates of themselves. There's a certain joke I want to make there about a certain somebody who looked like a bizarre, shape-shifting version of myself, but I think we shit on that individual enough on this show. Dirty hoe. I'm sorry, baby, I love you. Anyway, enough scaring Copper shitless with my mental issues. Anyway. The episode received 4.83 million overnight viewers, being the second highest viewed of the three specials. What do I think of Wild Blue Yonder? It's a great little special. Yeah, great little special. Although I will say, though, given that all of these kind of tie directly into each other, I'm a little confused why they didn't just greenlight a whole-ass Doctor Who movie for Disney+. Because because it feels like that's what they were wanting out of this. My apologies, I'm just turning the TV on some shit. Anyway, back on topic. But Wild Blue Yonder. Not my favorite of the specials, but I like it. It's fun. Now, the third special, which is the conclusion of this story arc, I did not get around to watching until a few days ago. Fucking hell, it's the Doctor Who is a convoluted show, but fucking hell, this one threw me for a loop when I watched it. The Giggle is the third and final of the 60th anniversary specials. Okay? Oh, and fun fact, this episode guest stars Neil Patrick Harris. Probably the only American on that set. Anyway. So, The Giggle. What's The Giggle about? Set directly after Discord, okay. Yep. Oh yeah, that meme has aged. Except I feel like it aged well instead of poorly. It aged poorly well. Anyway, set directly after the events of Wild Blue Yonder, the episode sees the Doctor, Donna, and Unit, which I don't know if Unit show it and read it, okay. You know, recent accusations, I'm leaving out a certain part of that because I don't want YouTube to snipe me. Recent accusations makes this meme age pretty well. Yeah, it really does. If you know Mr. Beast, you know. Anyway. Set directly after the events of Wild Blue Yonder, the episode sees the Doctor, Donna, and Unit, which I don't know if Unit is something that existed in Doctor Who previously. I don't recall Unit being mentioned at all in the previous two specials, and in the episodes I have seen, I don't recall Unit being mentioned at all. I guess I should bring that up real quick. You're probably thinking to yourself right now, what's your experience with Doctor Who? Blasphemy. You see, I did not watch Doctor Who because of any friends. I did not watch Doctor Who because of you. No. Back around 2014, 2015, Disney XD aired episodes of Doctor Who for a little bit there, before phasing it out. They showed the David Tennant era. Hey, look, Disney XD in 2014 aired David Tennant Doctor Who, and then Disney Plus, almost 10 years later, David Tennant Doctor Who. Full circle, anyway. But anyway, the Doctor, Donna, and Unit confront the return of the Doctor's old enemy, the Toy Maker, who is behind a series of signals in the form of a giggle being transmitted through television, causing the human race to go insane over their opinions. Causing the human race to go insane over their opinions. I'll let you write the jokes for me. I'll let you write the jokes for me for that one. Here's a baby. He's actually not a baby. He's old. But anyway. Okay, but anyway. The episode was watched by 6.85 million viewers and received positive reviews from critics, who praised Neil Patrick Harris's performance and the writing, though the episode's bi-generation was met with a polarized response. Bi-generation. Now, I don't know how caught up you are on Doctor Who, but tell me this. What typically happens at the end of a Doctor's run? Do you know? I just want to see how well you know. Hell, even this little bitch wants to see how well you know. A Doctor typically changes their face and personality at the end of a run. It's literally called regeneration. Literally. They just regenerate. It's an excuse to change actors. Yes, you're correct. They basically... Okay, I'm getting into spoiler territory, so if you haven't seen these specials, which I don't imagine you have, because you don't have Disney+, but... These specials basically did the typical regeneration with extra steps. So David Tennant does stick around as the Doctor by the end, by the climax, but we also introduce a new Doctor. Now you're probably thinking, okay, so the Doctor just regenerates as always. Nope. Imagine me. Okay? Look at me, right now. Now imagine if I were to split in two. One is still me. The other is a Mexican who looks like me, but very different. Bi-generation. Yep, so now there's two Doctors kicking around. So now David Tennant's Doctor coexists alongside the new guy. Oh, and what happens as well? The TARDIS also bi-generates. So now there's two TARDISes. I don't get it either. I mean, yeah, I don't get it. I didn't hate it, but I don't get it. It's like, why not just have him regenerate? Anyway. Oh, yeah, I know why. Because basically all of these specials serve as basically a soft pilot to the next season. Which, rather than continuing the season count we were already on, resets back to season 1. So it's not season whatever we were on, it's season 1 again. Oh yeah, in case you couldn't tell, Disney's Doctor Who is also kind of a soft reboot. But not just a change the actor, keep everything else. Nope, it's soft reboot. Anyway, this was then followed up with a Christmas special. I swear I'm done after this one. Anyway, this was then followed up with a Christmas special. The Church on Ruby Road. Released on December 25th, 2023. Christmas Day. Anyway. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Alright. I'm probably butchering this guy's name, Okay, I'm going to have to put Copper down, so say goodnight to Copper. Tell Copper goodnight, because I'm going to have to put him down because my arms are hurting. Tell him goodnight. Boring. Shut up, nerd. You're a bitch. Anyway. Let's get back on topic here. And why are you going... Okay. I don't know why this dog likes to go under the bed lately, but he just does. But anyway. This episode marks Nakudi... Good night, cop. Okay. I said okay, and he perked his head up. Like, anyway. This episode marks Nakudi Gatwa's... I don't know what demon I just summoned, but that guy. The guy who my mom said kind of looks like Anthony Mackie. Anyway, this episode marks his first regular appearance as the 15th Doctor, and introduces Millie Gibson as his companion, Ruby Sunday. Ruby Sunday, that is the most British name ever. And I know this is a British show. Nakudi Gatwas is coming for your... Steal your soul. Anyway. Okay, but the church on Ruby Road. Okay, so the church on Ruby Road picks up where the giggle left off, with the 15th Doctor just making his rounds. But otherwise, it has nothing to do with the previous 3 specials, other than picking up where it left off. So, what's the plot? The story focuses on the Doctor meeting orphan Ruby Sunday, who was abandoned at a church on Ruby Road, hence her name, and her plight to find her birth parents. So yeah. Following an interview with Davina McCall, playing a fictional version of herself, the two begin experiencing bad luck wherever they go because of the antics of the goblins, who eventually kidnap a new foster baby. That was a collection of words that I just read. Yeah, much simpler story compared to the previous 3 that I just read. Much simpler story, because it doesn't really tie into any past continuity. It really does serve as kind of a pilot episode. Which, fun fact, dead ass, the last 2 minutes of this episode, Ruby gets in the TARDIS, and, it's like, where am I, and who are you? And it's like, I'm the Doctor. And they actually show, in the episode, New Home, New Who, Disney Plus. That's a part of the fucking episode. They actually advertise the streaming service you're on in the show. I don't even have a joke for that. That just is the joke. But yeah. But Church on Ruby Road basically serves as the pilot episode for the next season of Doctor Who, which I haven't watched yet. But now that I'm all caught up, I probably will. Actually, I definitely will, but not anytime soon. I still have some Scrubs, and I still have some My Little Pony to get through. The Doctor can wait. I need to do this first. But yeah. Oh yeah, and although Wikipedia does say that space... Alright, what does it say? I know, it's not season, it's series. But I'm a filthy American. I like to use American terminology. Sometimes. Okay, like... Perfect example. okay, if we're talking about TV shows, then I will say season instead of series. Long hair Jesus, yeah. Okay, if we're talking like TV shows from the UK, I will say season instead of series. Just because that's what I'm used to. I don't like get it wrong on purpose. It's just what I prefer to use. Because that's the terminology I'm used to. But then we have the opposite problem. So when Thomas first came to the US, remember, Thomas the Tank Engine was a British creation. They actually did change the naming and terminology around. So coaches became passenger cars. The Fat Controller became Sir Topham Hatt. The troublesome trucks became foolish freight cars, although their name would later be changed back to troublesome trucks later on. Now, if you ask me which I prefer, that's a troublesome truck. Like, look at that and tell me that's a foolish freight car. No. Same thing with the episode titles. Like, do I prefer Thomas Gets Tricked, which is the American title? No, I prefer Thomas and Gordon. Do I prefer Come Out Henry? No, I prefer The Sad Story of Henry, and so on and so forth. Although you just said it ain't season, it's series, get your UK lingo right. That does remind me. Although the next season of Doctor Who, which is... Okay, although the next season of Doctor Who, which does pick up from where Church on Ruby Road left off, is the 14th season of the revival series overall, Disney Plus has it labeled as Season 1. So let's see. Come Out Henry. Oh yeah, I forgot about the episode where Henry comes out of the closet. Game. I'm not even going to touch that one. Anyway. But let's see. Disney is now more involved in the production. They've picked up the rights to stream it. Although BBC still owns it, they still have a say in production. Take notes, Disney. If they buy the franchise. But anyway, Disney has some say in the production, and they have the streaming rights. They clearly have a say in production to some degree. We're kind of starting from scratch, not just with a new Doctor, as always, but with kind of a new story entirely. Kind of using David Tennant to kind of say goodbye to the old continuity. And we're starting completely from scratch with Season 1. And if you don't believe me, let me open Disney Plus. Yeah, if you don't believe me, what would typically be labeled, quote-unquote, Series 14 is labeled Season 1 on Disney+. So by all accounts, this is basically a soft reboot, starting from scratch. Do I still expect them to dick suck all the previous Doctors for some quick and easy nostalgia, though? Absolutely. But yeah, now that I'm caught up on the Disney Plus specials, I only have, fucking hell, 8 episodes to go through. what do I think of Disney's Doctor Who? Surprisingly good. Hopefully I won't need to be caught up on 60 years of television. Check them out if you want. Anyway, but yeah, there's my thoughts on Disney Plus Doctor Who. The specials, and I guess the possibility of me watching the season that follows. I think you've heard me talk about Doctor Who enough. Even though you were likely interested in the topic, as you always are, surprisingly. I did not mean that to sound sarcastic. It's just I am a little surprised with some of the topics you find interest in. Because some of them are very me-specific, but, you know, as long as you're interested, I'm happy. So yeah, I say as someone who's almost never happy anymore. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot what the conversation was about, but Wolverine. Random. Oh yeah, that did just remind me, I forgot what the conversation was about earlier, but my mom and sister were talking, and my mom pulled this line out about me. He does not feel emotions ever, and fuck, I don't hate my mom, but when she said that, I wanted to punch her so hard. So incredibly hard. Like he doesn't feel emotions ever, bitch. Even Copper's looking at me right now like, Jess, you have issues. Stop looking at me with your ugly, wet eyes. Deadpool 3 is currently at 800 million. I heard. Deserved. And I always have to clarify, I don't mean that to sound sarcastic. Just deserved. You know, great movie. Great movie. Deserves all the money in the world. Yeah. I remember a comment somebody put on the trailer on YouTube. The only Marvel movie coming out this year, and they picked the best one. They really did. They really did. I would hate to change the subject, but in unrelated news, next Monday, Knuckles will begin airing on Nickelodeon. Previously a Paramount Plus original, but now making its linear cable network debut on Nickelodeon. Unknown if they're airing all 6 episodes in one go, or if it'll be weekly, but nice. I enjoyed Knuckles. Yeah, I do think Knuckles had its flaws, definitely. And I find it very tonally inconsistent with the movies, but for what it is, I do like it. And my stupid ass will, of course, watch it when it airs on Nick. Because I'm stupid. So, yeah. Oh. I actually completely forgot to mention this. I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place at the moment. Let me explain. You, in the audience... Oh, I like boobs. Don't we all? Anyway. You like boobs, you say? Anyway. Alright, I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place at the moment. You, in the audience, have informed me that you start school again real soon, which is unfortunate. I mean, I get we all need an education, but God, the education system is a joke. But anyway, so that's kind of putting this show in a little bit of jeopardy because I really like doing this show. It's one of the few things that really brings me any joy anymore. And you really like this show. I would hate to, cancel it outright until, like, the Christmas season. Because that's when you get off school again, is around Christmas. But I would also hate to, like, I know I sound kind of picky when I say this, but I would also hate to, like, move it earlier in the day. I mean, yeah, it would be convenient, but I mean, yeah, 11 p.m. my time, that is kind of late to do a show like this, but it means that I can do the show uninterrupted for the most part, in peace. I move it to like 9, 10 o'clock, and I have to deal with, like, okay, everybody's still up, so I have to be careful what I say or what I do. Can't be too loud, can't, And of course I, have to go to the bathroom at some point and all that. And, what if they need me? And, my dad, good night, going to bed, shut your windows, instead of, shut the blinds. Oh yeah, every time these blinds are open in the evening, my dad says, shut your windows. Not the blinds, the windows. Fun fact, it's the blinds that are open, not the windows. But anyway. But, I don't know. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, do I put the show on a months-long hiatus until, school's off again for you, kind of to work out both of our schedules, or do I do it earlier and just make do with the elements around me? Or do I perhaps temporarily replace you with one of my other available acquaintances? So nobody, because literally nobody wants to watch these. I don't know. You can give me advice, but I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. God, August 15th is going to be me at peak depression. Replace me with Sylv. If you insist. I don't, for the record, I have nothing against Sylv whatsoever. Yeah, he may have his anger issues and all that, but, I have nothing against him, but if you insist, I would kind of prefer, I know you would kind of prefer to have this show kept between the three of us, you, me, Sylv. I kind of wish I could get Luz in on this, because she's pretty cool, and she likes hearing me talk, but, her being in the UK, not the US, so 11 p.m. over here would be like 6 p.m. over there, and she'd probably just be getting off of work at the time. Yeah. Wonder After Dark, the only show where the host admits they can't plan worth a shit. But yeah, I guess there's kind of the channel update, content update. Yeah. Expect me to be very word that starts with the letter S-ol. Oh, and to a certain somebody who was born on August 15th, if you cared, you would still be here. Okay, it's time for tonight's funny image. Absolutely the fuck not. Anyway. But yeah, there's the Knight's Dilemma. God, I love how days of the week are now triggers for me. I used to not think a damn thing about August 15th. Now, August 15th for me is what March 14th is to Mr. Krabs. I like Monk. I do too. You know, I try to make myself move on, but Jesus fuck, it's too hard. That might make me sound clingy. No, I just have attachment problems. And I feel like I had the rug pulled out from under me. It's like, hey, your life's actually going pretty good, right? Fuck you, no it isn't. Oh, and that's another reason why I'm kind of iffy about Sylv being your replacement for a while, is because I can't make jokes like that anymore because of him. Because he always fucking snaps at me because of him. I always have to clarify, I have nothing against Sylv. Nothing at all. I have a structured settlement, and I need cash now. Oh good, MJ's at it again. Fuck you. Seriously, if you're just gonna keep on spamming me with you're this close to getting blocked. I swear to God. I swear to God, Jesus, and every other fucking religious deity under the sun. Okay, I gotta take this shirt off because it's getting a little hot. It's getting a little toasty in here. It's like a fucking easy bake oven, don't you know? If you ever played with an easy bake oven and you stuck your finger inside an easy bake oven, it's starting to feel like a fucking easy bake oven. I'll read what you just said in 1 second. Zooey Mama. Discord, I just acknowledged. Okay. You're gonna find me behind a gas station looking like this one of these days. I hope you know that. Okay. I see we're back to stream is delayed bad. Okay, I see we're revisiting the Wonder Nights. My apologies if I seem out of it. I'm still just kind of mad at everyone. I want everyone to have unique interactions with everyone, but I haven't thought of many at the moment, and Kihara has the more unique ones. Okay, Kihara and Rain Man. Rain Man is sensitive to intimacy and physical contact, Wow, who are you looking at right now? But Kihara constantly tries to hug him and poke fun at him. She'll invade his dreams to bother him, even when they're far away, but she's calmer than usual around him because she knows the things that he dreams about, and she tries to comfort him more so than annoy him and teach him to get used to hugs. I could use a Kihara in my fucking life, and I am not kidding. Kihara and Dash. Dash is feral and aggressive and is easily annoyed. Kihara's hyper and overactive personality clashes, and oftentimes Dash will tell her to shut up and is not afraid to speak his mind against her and cuss her out. Kihara would try to keep getting more active, specifically around Dash, just to annoy and trigger him. So yeah, Deadpool, that's exactly what I was thinking reading this. Kihara and Bolt. Bolt is the least annoyed. He likes to work with her and often has long conversations with her. She loves to hug him since he doesn't actually mind him, and they often work next to each other when fighting small crimes. Kihara and... oh, we have two now. Unless the view count is just fucking with me. That's nice. That's real wholesome. I'm not being sarcastic, that just is wholesome. So you know what, we'll get a nice little photo of that for my own consumption, you know. Anyway, back to reading. Kihara and Hypergirl. As the only girls on the team, they bond in a sisterly manner where they mess with each other and argue, but for the most part they get along almost as much as Kihara does with Bolt. Kihara and Cairo. As brother and sister, Cairo cares for Kihara and will do anything to protect her and listen to her chat for a long period of time before he gets bored. Cairo and pretty much everyone. He's a good boy who protects and loves everyone equally and will gladly carry his friends around. I love your creativity. I always have to clarify that is not sarcastic. I just love, love, love. But yeah. That was a nice read. Okay, Cairo is just a dog in personality. I figured. Pretty much their dog. Best dynamic. I'll save... a certain joke just came to me, but I'll save it till the... I'll save it for after the show. It's not a dirty joke, but it just... Neuron activation. Monkey sees action. That's how my brain operates. Anyway, but that was a nice little read. Anyway. Tell me joke. Okay. Trying to catch my stupid breath here. Oh, to anyone, before I tell the joke, to anybody years from now who might find this somehow and not understand the joke I'm making, it's a long story. You could call it an inside joke. Anyway, let's see. He's basically their dog, and he likes to carry his friends around. Dog riding is canon. I don't know, I thought that was funny. My brain just went funny. Anyway. But yeah, that was a nice little read. Reed Richards, perhaps. I like to read a Richards while I'm on a park bench. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of bone dry. I was about to ask, like, do we have any other topics? But I can't really think of any other topics to cover for the rest of this stream. I just know the reaction to that joke is going to be really delayed. I'm not funny. I'm not funny. I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. I have an annuity, but I need cash now. He ain't an actual dog. I know, my brain just put 2 and 2 together and thought that was funny. But yeah, I know that. 8 to 50 foot alien. But my brain just said, like, wait, he put the pieces in place for you. That's what happens when I hear certain things. My brain just, like, puts 2 and 2 together, and it's like, the joke's right there. But I guess you can work with that yourself if you want to make that kind of a running joke. But anyway, yeah, I can't really think of any other topics for this episode, so I guess we're going to do a brief little commercial break. No. We don't want to hear modern Lysol. No. No, we don't want to hear modern day Lysol. We just want to hear 800-588-2300 Empire today. But we don't want to hear Empire today. We just want to hear... Okay. But we don't want to hear Empire today. We just want to hear... I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. I have an annuity, but I need cash now. Call J.G. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. Any pound thousands of future. I love this ad. You get long-term payments, but you need cash now. 877 cash now. 877 cash now. It's your money. Use it when you need it. I love that one. Okay, Jake from State Farm. Of course, we gotta go with the OG. Nothing against the new Jake, but... Alright. Nothing against the new Jake, but we gotta go with the OG.
You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so...
Well, she's a guy. Oh my god, I love... Okay. Yeah, okay, that's enough nostalgic commercials for now. I could probably do an entire stream out of those, but we'd be here all night. Okay, yeah. Okay, genuinely, I'm bone... I don't want to end this quite yet, but I'm still bone dry on thoughts. I don't really know what else I can really talk about to kind of fill out the runtime. talk DC animation. That's going to be a little tricky. Not refusing to, but I've seen very little DC animation. I mean, I've seen more than you would think, but I can't name, like, everything off the top of my head. So instead, I'm just going to dick suck old reliable. But first, let me put other reliable away. Okay, again, I have not seen, like, every DC animated thing ever. Ever. So, I'm just gonna dick suck old reliable. My Adventures with Superman. Who knows, I might talk about this show in greater detail on another occasion, but I'm just gonna briefly talk it up, just kind of to fill out the runtime. Yeah, My Adventures with Superman. It's a great show, I would say. I remember when it was new, it was kind of divisive. I mean, I never really saw anyone explicitly hate it. Unless I did, and I just blocked that out, but I remember when it was new, it wasn't, like, hugely popular. But then it quickly picked up some traction. And I bet you that traction came from the Lois Lane thirst tweets. Like, good God, it was either Lois or Clark that people wanted. No in between. Why did they make everybody in this show hot? Seriously, everyone that could be hot is hot. But, yeah. This aired on Adult Swim in 2023. And then Season 2 aired this year. Season 3 is currently in production, so it's clearly a super popular show. Clearly. It's doing really well if it's already made it to Season 3. Everyone wants that Lois book. Actually, even Geo wanted that Lois booty. Which just makes me that much more insert thing here about it. That did just remind me of something, but I'll save it to the end. Yeah, My Adventures with Superman. It's a show I really like. I mean, it could just be because it's the one I've seen the most recently, but yeah. Also, you know, it is, the first season is available on DVD. I imagine Season 2 is not that far behind in terms of DVD. Probably going to happen sooner than later. This is kind of an odd release because most of the DC animated shows are available on Blu-ray, even ones from like the 90s. This one, however, just a DVD. No Blu-ray. Not even like a made-on-demand, like online Blu-ray, just online only, just a DVD. Which, I mean, I'm fine with, but I don't know. I would have liked if it got a Blu-ray release. Especially because this is a show that is produced and aired in high definition. And of course, another oddity about this release is you see in the recyclable bit here where there's some artwork. Oh yeah, 2 disc sets. So disc 1, episodes 1 through 5. Disc 2, episodes 6 through 10. Nice and even. And then behind that, more artwork. Yeah, you can clearly tell that this was supposed to be in a clear case. and they just randomly said, nah, we'll put it in a black DVD case, not even bringing attention to the fact that they put some artwork on the inside. Whoops. Classic Warner Bros. Yeah. But My Adventures with Superman, it's a pretty good show. You're probably expecting more in-depth thoughts on it, but I think we'll save that for another time, just because it is getting a little late. It's 12:20 a.m. We are at 80 minutes, about standard for this show, really. Yeah. Okay, now what I did want to bring up, because I did just make the joke about our formerly beloved. See, I was first informed that it was over. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna throw this in at the end. I was first informed by a friend of our formerly beloved that it was over. And for a while, I thought that was the case. That he seemingly didn't want anything to do with me. Until I would check my YouTube weekly recap every week and notice that he and his SpongeBob profile picture are still there every week. Why do I bring this up? Well, remember what date it is today. Monday, August 5th. YouTube typically gives me the weekly recaps either Tuesday night or Wednesday night. I'm looking at YouTube Studio right now, and the weekly recap goes up to July 16th through July 22nd. And it says, here's what you got up to last week, 4 videos. And you know, he's still there. Slight difficulty. That wasn't last week. That was 2 weeks ago. July 16th to the 22nd would not be a week ago. That would be 2 weeks. So YouTube mysteriously, after I noticed, they stopped updating me. I feel like I'm on the verge of uncovering some fucking conspiracy, and I feel like I'm getting silenced. I know I'm probably reading way too deep into this, but the fact that I noticed this and then YouTube stopped giving me weekly recaps. Like, oh shit, he knows. Or, oh shit. But like, because face it, YouTube would look at this and think he. But I know I sound crazy, but I just wanted to stop. But I can't make it stop. Can you see why I'm hesitant to replace you with Sylv during your absence? Can you see why? Because if I were to give this exact same little conspiracy rant to Sylv, he would tell me to shut the fuck up and move on and let it go when I can't and can't help it. If name withheld did you dirty, you would feel the same way. Don't act like you wouldn't. I just wanted to throw that in at the end of the episode because it's been driving me completely insane. I think you should see a therapist. I don't even know if a therapist could help at this point. I'm not refusing that. I just don't know if a therapist could help. I just don't know. Already do feel the same way about it. Yeah, so we're on the same page. So I don't look too stupid. Granted, I'm not calling you stupid, not at all. That would be rude and hateful. I'm just saying we're on the same page. Except in my case, it's way fucking worse. It's way worse. I'm over here. Okay. Oh, you know, okay. What, you you put here instead of her, so I was thinking you were literally, yeah, minor spelling mistake, I win, anyway, but, LOL, first I serious, then I LOL'd, but let's get back to serious, and I make fun of her, but I'm not depressed because of her. Well, in my case, it's still recent, so can you blame me? And again, feels like I had the rug pulled out from under me. I'm not trying to sound like a bitch, not at all, but can you blame me? No, you cannot. So if I have my moments, don't get upset. And by the way, I got over it in a couple months. Oh, it's been a couple of months, and I try to get over it, and I don't force myself to get back into it. It's just the way my brain operates. It feels like it's been... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, it's only been since May, but god damn. I do try to just move past it, but the problem is, there's reminders everywhere, and my brain, how it operates. I am deeply considering, would I get rid of this He wasn't originally a jerk, but yeah. Anyway, I'm probably not going to get rid of this, but I have considered replacing this as a set piece. Like, during the streams, find another plushie that won't piss me off, replace Garfy with it. What that plushie is, you can feel free to suggest it. And if I can find it, I mean, yeah. But anyway, I'm not saying I'll get rid of this. I probably won't, but I've thought about, during the streams, finding a different plushie of something else and replacing Garfield here with this. Yeah. Again, if you know any possible Garfield substitutes to place here in the future, let me know. But for now, Garfield is staying. I was not ignoring you, audience. I was just addressing myself. Oh yeah, and you're probably thinking, what about that guy right there? Oh no, that's the thing. He was never in All Engines Go. He gave it a chance. I can send you my Foxy plush. Oh, actually, like, deadass, like, that worthy of a sacrifice? I know you're probably partially joking, but if you really want to go there, just make it seem like a weird-ass package. Like, don't put, like, a letter in... If you do ever go there, don't put, like, a letter attached, like, for you, my darling, or anything like that. Okay, I should have suspected that was a joke, but with you, I never know. With you, my lovely audience, I never know what's a joke and what is serious unless it's very clearly spelled out in front of my idiotic little face. Oh my god, I got super negative for somebody who's usually super positive. I am Jim Carrey Robotnik level fucked up in the head. It's the exact reason why I have a love-hate relationship with anybody that isn't white. Is that really fucking awful to say? Yes. But am I going to say it loud and proud? Yes. I'm not going to go any further, though, because I don't want to potentially start any controversy. I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah, and related to you, audience, I have nothing against any of the people you suggested getting me in touch with. Read that in a New York accent. Foxy is very valuable, son of a punk. Worth more than me. We gotta shoot these shows and movies with this money bag. I don't know. Ignore the fact I was doing a tally in hand, but anyway. Back to you, audience. I guess since we're on the topic of bitches, listen. I have nothing against any of the people you suggested that I get in touch with, but, and I especially have nothing to do with Mr. He Blew a Dude once, but I don't want somebody who's exclusively in it for sex, because seemingly everybody you described is. I don't want to, like, open this one day. Oh, that's a cock. Oh, that's 5 more cocks. No. Well, anyway, this episode got depressing. It's called Wonder After Dark for a reason. I can send my... Shut up. Just shut. Funny, but shut the up. Just shut the and up. Funny, but shut the and up. Anyway, but, oh yeah, and I was being dead fucking serious. I was being dead fucking serious. Well, anyway, it's getting a little late. It is 12:33 a.m. We're at 93 minutes. Do you have anything either related or unrelated you would like to say before we wrap up this episode? Doesn't matter if it's related or not, just anything you would like to say before we wrap up. Because I'm a go? Okay. But real quick before you go. Just before you go, real quick. Do you have any topic suggestions for the next episode? I just want to ask that before you go. No idea? Okay, so I guess it's another night where I just winged the topic. I guess this is another night where I just winged the topic on a whim. But anyway, that's enough positive, negative for one night. Hopefully tomorrow night is a bit more positive. I'm not counting on it, though. Anyway, time for the outro that usually is positive. That's all the time we have for tonight. What we're doing tonight, or what we're doing tomorrow night, I don't know. But always remember, eat your cereal, go to bed, to be continued. God made you special and he loves you very much. Good night, and have a day.